Hello Summoners, welcome to MainDeck Masters. Today we have Game 2 between James on the left and David on the right. James of course is playing Blessed Luster and Dave is playing Loki Tokens. Will James be able to take Game 2 from David and in the set, or will Dave be able to come back and make it a full set? Well, you're going to have to watch this video to find out. If you have not seen Game 1, make sure to check that out first. I will have a link to Game 1 in the description and possibly pinned in the comments if I remember to. But let's go ahead and get into Game 2. James is going to start us off with a Sweet Elemental Ginger Bloom, and then he's going to right away play a Hippocampo. A very strong start from James. See what Dave decides to clap back with. He's going to play himself a Worker Ant-Man. Very simply going to ramp himself some cores. James is going to take that damage. He does not want to lose one of his spirits to that Worker Ant-Man at 4k. And that's going to give him an extra core to work with. So let's see what James decides to do. He puts a card in the burst zone, and he's going to call out a second Hippocampo, and he's going to go in. He can swing with both those Hippocampos going back to 6. And we've got James at 6 life and Dave at 3 life. Double Hippocampo start when your opponent attacks it's strong. It looks like Dave is counting up his cores, seeing what he wants to do. He's going to play himself an Ant-Man General, get that insect token out exhausted. And let's see, does he attack with the Worker Ant-Man? He does not. He passes on over. He does not want to just get blown out by James. If he attacks with the Worker Ant-Man and James has one more spirit, then James, puts Dave in a very bad position. So he does not want to do that. James has a Blessed Cathedral come on down. That Blessed Cathedral can get scary, especially once he gets it to level 2, and he's got a bunch of units on field. He's just going to pass back on over to Dave. After that quick aggression, he's just going to slow it down a bit. He's really in no rush. Let's see what Dave decides to do. It looks like he's got a Trickster Machine God Loki in hand, or is that a Thunder God Mech Donar? It does look like the Thunder God Mech Donar. Alright. He does have the Donar in hand. He will be able to... Oh, he just takes cores off of his Ant-Man General and his Worker Ant-Man, destroying the Ant-Man General. And he wants to swing with that Donar and get the draw. Looks like maybe he does not have in his hand what he wants, and he's going to want to draw out to get some sort of answer. So he does swing with that Donar, removing the cores from the token and drawing 2 cards, and James just decides to take it, going to 5. Why would he not? Why would he block against it and instead of just take the damage going to 5? He was at 6. Blessed is strong. Luster's strong too. We might see some of that in this game, but Blessed, it's a strong mechanic. Alright, it looks like James is putting his Blessed Cathedral and Ginger Bloom up to level 2, so he can swing in with that Ginger Bloom. It's a 2k at level 2, and if Dave decides to block, he does not decide to block. He's not going to give James that draw. Not from the Ginger Bloom. So he will draw against the Hippocampo, and I do believe both units will trade. They do trade. James will ramp one and draw one. But he will not get another Blessed trigger. And interestingly enough, he does not swing with the other Hippocampo. I'm not so sure about that. Putting Dave down to 1 would have been very strong, but maybe he knows what he's doing. Maybe he's got an idea. He's got some sort of plan. Dave plays another Ant-Man General, getting another insect token to use with that Donar. That Donar's going to either attack or block, take the cores from that insect token, and give him 2 more cards in hand. And it does look like we have another Worker Ant-Man coming down, so we will have a bit more ramp. Let's see what Dave decides to do. He has 1 cord left in reserve. Not sure if he's going to be able to do anything with that. He's going to go ahead and attack with that Worker Ant-Man, ramping him up to an additional core in reserve. And James just takes it going to 4. And Dave goes ahead and attacks with that Donar, removing the core from that token and drawing 2 cards. And James takes it going to 3. He's just ramping cores. He just wants those extra cores. That was free. Those were free cores that he got off of Bless, so he was like, okay, I'll go back down to 3. I'll match him. I'll get extra cores myself. David passes on over to James. It looks like there's 2 Lokis in his hand. But James does play down the Arcana Princess Anne. And let's see, it's at level 3, so he may be trying to get himself some luster triggers, so let's see what he decides to do. Anne attacks. It looks like David declines Flash again, and there's the Gleam of Hope from James. Going to draw him a card, give his Hippocampo and his Anne plus 1k. David is going to block with that Ant-Man General. Does not want to take this attack. And if he doesn't have a suppression or a regain or something like that in hand, and James just continues to attack, he might be in trouble, and James just passes. Interesting. He might have just been worried about the suppression and did not want to lose one of his units for no reason, but he did have lethal. He was able to swing in for lethal at that point, so not quite sure what James was thinking of there. We will have a great Alvar Plains come down from Dave. He's going to rest that Ginger Bloom, and we're paying a lot of cores for that Trickster Machine God Loki. All right, we got Loki out this game. He was not able to get Loki out last game, but he's got Loki out this game. So with that Worker Ant-Man, that Donar, and that Loki out on field, David's going to be swinging out. He does not have a burst card yet. That is still a little scary. And James is just going to burst his Absolute Ice Shield and recover back to 3 and end the turn. Dave will bounce that Alvar Plains off of Loki's ability back to his hand. He will not refresh his Loki because his Loki is already refreshed, but he will have it for next turn, and James knows that. So let's see what James decides to do here. Let's count some cores. Is this a... What kind of angle is this? This is the Michaela angle. Okay, Archangel Michaela. And summon, he's going to look at the top 5 cards of his deck, because he has 5 Yellow Spirits or Nexus. We do see a Gleam of Hope, and we see a Suppression come off of that. 2 Blessed Cathedrals are going to go to the bottom of the deck, so that is a bit unfortunate, but he does have that Gleam of Hope and that Suppression. So when he swings in, he will have 2 Gleam of Hope to be able to cast. And those Gleam of Hope are going to be free off of that Michaela. James is going to attack with the Anne, and Dave is immediately bursting. It looks like he's got Dream Bomb in hand. Yes, he does. He's going to immediately Dream Bomb that Michaela back to hand. Heads up play by Dave. He does not want to have to deal with that Michaela. And James is going to have to... He's going to play a Gleam of Hope. He's going to get that back to hand as long as the Anne does not get Dream Bombed itself. So he's going to play another Gleam of Hope. He's drawing. He's looking for maybe another Ice Shield. He's looking for anything. I mean, he's going to get the Gleam of Hopes back to hand, so the dig is going to happen, and the card draw is going to happen regardless. But I think he's looking for something certain, because it does not look like he has another Ice Shield in hand. He has quite a few units, quite a few Spirit cards, and that is a thick hand from James. And the Newman City does come down for David, and it looks like he's going to be playing himself a Newman Guard. The Newman City bringing out the Elephant, and the Elephant will be at level 2. So David can start swinging out, and he will refresh his entire board at the end of turn. So very, very good from David. That Elephant at level 2 is going to put him back into a good position, it does look like, because he's only at 1 life. With Dave only at 1 life, he does need to be careful, but with that Elephant on the field, he's really got nothing to worry about. Not as much to worry about. He still has some worries. He still needs to worry a little bit, but he doesn't have quite as much to worry about. Looks like Gingy is finally going to be destroyed, blocking that Loki, and then Donar comes in. Donar drew him 4 cards. 4 cards. Donar drew Dave 4 cards, so Dave's pretty happy about that. The Hippocampo is destroyed, and then Worker Ant-Man's going to come in and ramp him a core. It looks like the suppression angle is coming down on the Anne. And James, yeah, suppression on the Anne is going to be able to block the Worker Ant-Man. It's going to be able to block the Newman Guard. It's going, even if Dave has like a regain, if Anne blocks the Newman Guard, then, you know, David will have to hit regain on the Loki, And then, well, actually, we'll have to see. If he does have a regain, this could be really scary on Dave's end. I do believe I see one in his hand, because that regain on that Loki, if he starts dealing damage, he's got a Donar, he's got a Newman Guard, he's got the Newman City that he can all bounce off of Loki. And 2 Gleam of Hopes come down for James, drawing him some more cards. He's looking for an out, possibly. Yes, we do see the regain come out from David, restanding that Loki, refreshing it, and it is a huge threat right now. He can swing and bounce 3 of his Mecha Beast spirits or his Nexus back to his hand to refresh it and continue attacking. And we are going to see the Dream Blizzard come out from David, and that Dream Blizzard is going to give his Newman Guard plus 3k. So that Newman Guard is not going to be destroyed by this Gleam of Hope suppression combo coming out from James, because that Gleam of Hope suppression combo is going to make it 7, 8, 10k. So he does not want it to die, and it looks like, yeah, James goes ahead and concedes. He's like, yeah, as you can see on the screen, Dave's like, yeah, I can just keep swinging it with Loki now that your hand is gone, and bouncing my stuff and continue attacking. If you do not have the Ice Shield, I got it. Wow. Loki showing his worth. Loki coming in and saying, hey, you thought you were in a good position? Well, guess what? I have lethal out of nowhere. What a game 2. Good job by Dave bringing it back. Hope you guys enjoyed this game. If you did, make sure to like and subscribe. It really does help out a bunch. Drop a comment down below telling me if you thought Dave was going to win with that kind of combo, because I certainly didn't. It looks like we're going to be having a game 3, so come on back tomorrow for that, and let's see what kind of shenanigans these players get into and how crazy game 3 gets. A huge shout out to Kingslayer Cards for sponsoring our channel. Make sure to go to the link in the description and use code MDM2023 at checkout for 5% off when you are purchasing singles. Have a great day, and we will see you tomorrow.